So, good evening, everyone. Haven't been on here in a week. Life's just busy, but just want to come back on here and touch base, see how everyone is doing, how's the mental life going on, how's emotional life, how's physical life, how's spiritual life, how is life in general. For me, I'm not going to say it's bad, it's just some challenges going on right now, and it's funny how time will repeat itself over and over again until we get the lesson that is meant for us to get. And right now in my life, I'm having different situation, but same scenario will repeat itself, and it's either I'm gonna learn from it or I'm going to bypass it, but then it's going to just repeat because I didn't get the lesson. And that's where I think we get stuck in our panic and anxiety. Sometimes we get so overwhelmed with things coming at us that we don't know how to handle it. That's why it's important that I tie my mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual together, because for me, it's one and the same. One for me doesn't exist without the other, and it may for you. And so, I just come on here from my point of view. I don't know how your journey is, because all of our journey is our own and it's unique in our own way. So we must deal with it. I just offer advice from my point of view and some things that I do that kind of eases my panic and anxiety. Um, and I try to share with people. Maybe it's something they can try. I always look up different things that may help bring some calmness, bring some peace, because dealing with panic anxiety, it can be a mental, and mentally, if we're dealing with it, it can create so much chaos in our head that it affects every element of our body. Our heart races, upset stomach, I get jitters, hands start shaking. We physically become ill because of what's going on in our head. And then emotionally, if we're overwhelmed with just stress and anxiety, the emotion of the stress can do damage to our body as well. And then physically, the attacks is, the shaking, sweats, upset stomach. And then for me, spiritual part is that I need to do something different than what I'm doing in order to reach the level that I want to be in my life. So, um, like I said, I don't have one that don't exist without the other. I tie them kind of all together. I break it down. If it's not mental, I start there. If it's not mental, if I'm okay up there, then I go to the emotional part. Then I go to the physical. And then ultimately, I reach the spiritual part. Sometimes I'm so overwhelmed with things. If I start writing, all of the anxiety and panic goes away. Or if I know that I have not, like if I go too long without eating, sometimes I start getting panic attack symptoms. When I eat, it calms down. So now that's the physical part of it. So it all depends. When I'm eating right and exercising regularly, I'm meditating, yoga, everything is on point, I'm fine. When there is an imbalance, then the chaos starts. So that's my goal, is to share my life journey, and together we can figure out a way to find some balance with the panic and anxiety. And mental health, is important. It used to be shied on. If it was something wrong mentally with you, people think you're crazy making it up. But now it's becoming more and more aware. People are bringing light to it because it is a real thing that exists, and we are not crazy. We just need help. Sometimes that's taking medication. Sometimes it's, being more spiritual, being more open to change. It's there's no right or wrong way to go about this. For me, I try to go the natural way. I try to figure out, if something I'm doing is off. Not saying will I ever need medicine, I don't know. But for right now, I do it the way that I think works for me. And it may be different for you. So just go through your life, write down, get a journal, start journaling, and write down things going on in your life. And try to eliminate as much as possible stress. Sometimes it can't, like, let's say you're at a job that's stressing you out and you can't just leave, but find an exit strategy. Find a way that you can be happy, because you can be at a job. Maybe that's not going to be your forever thing, but it can bring calmness. But if you're at a job that is constantly stressing you out, you need to leave, because it's just going to create more stress for your body, more panic, more anxiety, and then you're going to be overwhelmed, and it's just going to physically and spiritually take a toll on you. The next thing I wanted to talk about is where can we go from here? Like, I was the last week or so, I've been having slight little panic attacks daily. Been overwhelmed, been stressed. I usually exercise. Some days I had to skip my workout completely so that I could meditate. That, I haven't been doing, just been in a rush with life. Sometimes we need to slow down everything. We might have to just take a day for ourselves and cut people off. Take a walk. I know today I got to enjoy walking outside, and it actually calmed me down. So, sometimes we just gotta take a step back and look at the bigger picture, figure out our triggers, figure out, maybe we're stuck in a place in our life that we don't need to be, that we know we are meant for something greater, and the world around us is keeping us complacent, but we're allowing it, and we're not. We're not trying to change. We're not trying to do better. We say that we want to, but we take no steps and gravitating towards change. It's not easy. I'm still dealing with it. I still suffer. I still challenge myself, because I can get, I can procrastinate too. And I know I need to do something. And we are afraid to change sometimes too, because we got to leave that old person behind. And sometimes panic and anxiety, we hold on to that because it's a comfort. Not knocking. It is a mental thing, emotional, spiritual, physical. But sometimes we are scared to change because the possibilities of the unknown, and we get afraid. And I go through it too. I'm still afraid of situations and certain things, but slowly I take chances. Don't do everything all at once. You don't have to race. This is your own journey. Take your time with it. Do one little change simply at a time, and then conquer that. It could be as simple as, if you're afraid to go outside, just walk into the mailbox. Start there. Or you're afraid, or for me, I have an issue making friends. So it could be as simple as joining a class that you might enjoy. You might meet some people there that connect with you. So it's all about our own journey and figuring out what works for us, and going after who we need to be, and not allowing the panic, the anxiety, the OCD, the mental control us. We are in charge of it, but we must be willing to accept it as a part of ourselves. and then challenging ourselves to get help if we need help, if it comes to the point where we might need a therapist or medicine, and to apply those changes to our lives. We can't say that we are in need. We can't continue to say that we want help. We can't continue to say that we suffer if we don't do anything about it. If we are suffering, reach out. Do not be ashamed of of what you have, because panic and anxiety doesn't have us. We gotta hold on to it. It seems so overwhelming at times, but we can get through it if we do the necessary work that it takes. And it's not going to be an easy task. Nothing in life that's meaning that is, great is going to be easy. But we are going to be greater than when we are today and tomorrow and next day. We only can get better. But the way we can get better is we accept, we challenge, and we execute. Execute means that we take control of ourselves and we do the necessary work to challenge our abilities, challenge our mental status, challenge our emotional, challenge our physical and spiritual well-beings. It's not easy. You're gonna cry. You may cry. You may hurt. You may be stressed out. You may whine. You may throw tantrums. But I can guarantee you, if you do not give up on yourself, there is a brighter day after today. You're gonna have some sad days, but I want us to get to the point where our great days outweigh our sad days, and we can still find happiness even in chaos, even if it's in our head. Sometimes, I've been practicing this because the negative thoughts can overtake us, and it can create. So what I started doing is, if it goes longer than 10 minutes, I quickly snap myself out of it. And I literally talked to myself and said, Christina, this is not what's going on. You're fine. You're going to go through this. Your mind is just, and bam. It's going to take practice. I'm still on this journey. This is going to be probably a forever journey for me. But I want to let you guys know that the journey doesn't have to be burdensome. Not when you recognize who you are and recognize your journey and recognize that we all need help. And that's okay. Even those people that seem like they have it all together, everybody needs help sometimes. And it is okay. And don't be ashamed. I will be back on here in a few more days. But for now, just try to figure out who you are. What's your triggers? Why you are who you are. Don't beat yourself up. We all make mistakes. We are not perfect. We will fall sometimes. We will do stuff that we're not supposed to. But if you are making strides to be a better person, to change, because change hurts. It's growing. That growth spurt, it hurts. But as long as you are moving forward and you're wanting to change and you're starting the whole process, I can guarantee you there is a light at that tunnel, and you'll be so much better off, because the person that we are really truly, we haven't even become yet. But the more we work at ourselves, the more that we strive to be better, strive to change, strive to grow, we'll become who we are meant to be. And yes, some panic and attacks, anxieties, but we'll get to the point where they're minimized and we know what they are, we can capture it and then move on from it. And then we can have more peaceful days and more calmness in our spirit, and we won't allow the chaos in our head to create chaos in our life. So, I want y'all to have a good night. You can message me and we can, if you need to chat about this some more. But like I said, I'll be on in a few days, and let's take control of ourselves mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, so we can create the person that we are meant to be.